Hi guys, welcome back to my XPS guide. Now I'm gonna review Randy. He is a true double hand character, so let's compare him with Akstar and Esther. And he's kind of same like Esther because he has 150% true double hand and 100% double hand. So yes, same like Esther. But because you need to equip his Trust Mastery word, that means he gonna has 250% double hand boost, okay, which is insane. You only need 50% more to max his attack. And like Esther, he has very nice defensive stats, okay, like you can see here, he has 105% defense and 85% spirit, so he is pretty tanky. For his health, maybe it is not much, only 40% health boost, but he has 100% all elements resist and 20% on all elemental resist. For light, he has 40%, which is a little bit plus, okay, but yeah, very nice survivability. For attack stats, he has 170% attack boost if you equip him with sword, but again, since you need to equip his Trust Mastery word, that's not a problem, right? It is good, but still inferior compared to Esther, especially remembering Randi already got his awakening, but still very good passive and stats, okay. But the thing that make him better than Esther and Akstar is he has 200% Beast, Fairy, and Dragon Killer. Oh boy, that's very good and will multiply his damage by a lot, but you will see later why that it is not that amazing, okay. Basically, they give him only to make him comparable on top tier attackers at this point of the game, not to make him special, okay. You will see later. So I think that's all you need to know about his passive, okay. He has a chance to give your party 100% attack buff, but the chance is too small and 100% are kinda easy to override on today's standard. So enough about his stats, let's talk about abilities. The first thing Randy do best is his ability to chain with Absolute Mirror of Equity. So he able to chain with fire and earth for this Absolute Mirror of Equity, and his most powerful attack also on the Absolute Mirror of Equity. Like you can see here, Drilling Slash deal awesome damage, but again, I don't think it is that great on this meta, okay, because like you can see here, Randy has permanent triple cast, but even with that, you only deal 36 times damage per turn when your Drilling Slash active. Yes, I know it has short cooldown, but I simply point this out, okay. 36 times is very low on today's meta compared to Akstar and Esther. But again, like I said, he has that Beast, Dragon, and Fairy Killer to compete with top tier attackers at this point, because if you fight this type enemies, that means he deals 118 times damage, which is better than Esther and Akstar, but yeah, only niche. And he also has Mana Strike, but Mana Strike is good but bad at the same time. Good because this will buff your Beast, Dragon, and Fairy Killer by 75%, which make him more insane. But the problem is, if you use this on the beginning, you can only use this on the beginning because this only lasts for one turn. So you want to use this before any of your attack. That means you gonna kinda mess up your chaining because there is slight delay unless you use an exact, Randy as your chaining partner. So with that, you can, both of you can use Mana Strike on the first turn, on the first act, and then continue with Drilling Slash or Power of Salamando and Gnome. Okay, that won't be matter. But again, this is kind of strange because this is a finishing attack, but you need to use it on the first attack. So kind of stupid. Next, he also able to chain with Bolting Strike. This is good, okay, more chaining family, but Bolting Strike is not the meta right now. But again, if you have Esther, then you can make him a nice chaining partner for him because part of Sylphid is lightning physical damage. Okay, He also able to chain with other abilities, but I think they are bad. First, Power of Shit. This is Dark Element, but chainable with Absolute Zero, which is an Ice Element. And like I have said, Absolute Zero is not easy to chain. Yes, I know they have said Absolute Zero, Gumi have fixed Absolute Zero chaining on the patch note, but I'm not sure how easy to chain Absolute Zero right now. Because on the wiki, it still says very, hard to chain 2 frames or less. Okay, so I think it's hard. Next, Power of Lumina. This is chainable with Disorder, but again, I'm kinda disappointed. Why Disorder? Because Disorder is not a common chaining move on this game. Cannot they make this one into Divine Ruination? Really confusing in my opinion, okay? He can also absorb MP and resurrect others. This is something that he can do that others cannot do, because his triple cast almost work on all his abilities. So you can use 2 attacking moves, and on the last, you can resurrect or absorb MP from enemies. So very good. And other than chaining, he also able to break the enemy stats, but it is not his strong point, because like you can see here, it is available on 6 turn. So yeah, you cannot make him into your main breaker, okay? Simply a backup breaker, and this is only only affect 1 enemy. Yes, it deals nice damage, but again, not that good. Okay, chainable with Ryujin, but who are still using Faye right now? Okay, and finally, the last is his Limit Burst. His Limit Burst is very good. I have said that he is a good partner for Esther because Lightning Bolting Strike move, but his LB also chainable with Esther LB, Aurel Ray. It deals inferior damage than Esther, but still pretty good damage and bump your attack stats by 300%. And I think this is the function of your chaining moves Imbue Element, because those Imbue Element only last for 2 turns. So the first turn, you're gonna use that to Imbue Element. On the next turn, you're gonna use your LB to deal Elemental Chain with Esther. Okay, so I think that's all you need to know about his abilities. Now let's talk about equipment. For equipment, the only bad thing you need to deal with Randi is he needs to equip 1 hand sword, where he is a true double hand attacker. That means you won't get 1.65 times damage modifier. So unless you get your Aurora Fry via Supercharged Master Reward, then you gonna stuck with 1 hand weapon. But again, if you use Daybreak, then you won't get his Trust ability. Until Gumi patch the game, so STMR activate our Trust ability. Okay, this will come on the, I believe, this week on anniversary announcement. But before that, Daybreak is not a good weapon for Randi. But again, if you have Daybreak, then you need to have Supercharged Master Reward, which is kind of expensive. The rest is simple, okay? Simply boost his true double hand and attack stats, and you are good to go with Randi. Okay, so in about the equipment, my conclusion for Randi. So he is very solid characters when you fight against Dragon, Fairy, and Beast. Other than those type, I must say he's kind of underwhelming. Yes, I haven't mentioned before that his chaining move have Elemental Rise buff, but I think that's kind of contradict each other. When you deal Earth Element, then usually the enemy resists against Earth. So it is not good like Onion Knight Elemental buff. Okay, Onion Knight Elemental buff is very good pairing, because let's say you deal fire element and you get water elemental buff. That's what enemy does. Okay, usually the enemy use water attack, weaks against fire. But for Randi Elemental, it's not good, and it's only 50%. Yes, it is nice buff, but not the reason for pulling him. His Trust Master Reward is good sword, but not a good weapon for him. Like I said, it's one-handed sword. Maybe some of you still gonna equip fixed dice for him, but in the future fixed dice will be nerfed. That's the reason I didn't mention it on equipment section. For his super task mastery reward, it is best in slot ability for sword users. Okay, insane attack boost and very good for Randi if you manage to get daybreak for him. Another good thing about him is he has permanent triple cast, but really with his damage modifier I won't call it that his strength. Okay, and maybe the best part about Randi is he is super tanky, high defense, high spirit, and all elements resist, and 20% on all elemental resist. That's insane, guys, especially on this age of elemental Tetris. But really, he doesn't have stop and charm resist, so not that special. Okay, so compared to Akstar and Esther, I must say both of them have better damage modifier on general enemies. Okay, but against Dragon, Fairy, and Beast, Randi is more powerful. Both of them also able to imperil the enemies, but for Randi, he not able to do that. Okay, but again, Randi is supposed to be partnered with someone else. Like I said, if you pair him with Esther, then Esther already able to imperil lightning resist, so you don't need Randi to be able to imperil lightning. Okay, so I think that's all you need to know. In the end, I can only give Randi 9.5 out of 10. Yes, against Dragon, Fairy, and Beast, he is 10++, but against normal enemies, no. Okay, as an attacker. Okay, so yep, thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy per FX videos guide. Bye bye guys.